Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here to another Sunday night showdown for the NEXXTCAR Racing League. Tonight, the Truck Series is heading to Loudon, New Hampshire to take on the Magic Mile. That is the New Hampshire Motor Speedway. These drivers are going to have their hands full tonight as they navigate their way around this difficult 1-mile track. Last week at Eldora, Ranger put an end to Tennessee's winning streak. This week, Ranger looks to start a winning streak of his own. With only 4 races left in the regular season, every point matters now more than ever. There's no other track on the schedule like it, and there's no other league out there like this one. This is the NEXXTCAR Racing League.
Above it all, untouchable, a new animal. This is how legends are made.
Major contact, Nick saves it. They're going to make it 3 wide. Tennessee 3 wide. Roma making it 4 wide. 4 wide here at Bristol, Sean. I never thought we would ever see that. I never thought we would ever say that here at Bristol. But they were 4 wide through 1 and 2 that last time.
This is how legends are made. I got the lightning inside me. Oh, just you watch. This is how
Evo, does he use the bumper? Trying to prevent someone from getting those extra 2 bonus points, but here comes Zach. Zach trying to make a run. Here comes Evo. He's going to drive it underneath Nick. Nick trying to block him. Evo, payback from stage 1. Evo's going to clear him coming off the floor. Evo's going to get the win. Nick second and Zach claiming third.
Oh, here we go through 3 and 4 for the final time. It is going to be an absolute dogfight for the win here at Michigan. 3 and 4 for the final time, and the leader's wreck. The leader's wreck. Nick Trudeau pulls away out front. He is going to get his first NEXXTCAR Cup win here in Michigan.
This is how legends are made.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here to another Sunday night here with the NEXXTCAR Truck Series Racing League. We are loading back into the game. I don't know what happened. It froze on me, but let's go ahead and introduce our broadcaster here tonight. Once again, obviously, that is Dale. What's going on, buddy?
I am struggling with it real life, but honestly, it's not going to affect me when I watch this race with you.
No, sir. We are in for one heck of a show here tonight. Last season, these guys put on a heck of a show with Tennessee coming away with one of those lucky wins once again. So, looking forward to another good battle here at the end of this thing.
Yeah, I finished 4th that race, so I kind of had the pleasure of watching how that finish played out. Unfortunately, because for viewers who don't know, it ended up in a 3-wide finish with 10 somehow gained the win. But the 2 people who were in that situation as well, or in that 3-wide battle, Pierce and Nick, are both not racing today, so that is going to suck.
Absolutely. You know, this is a rough time for not just here in NEXXTCAR, but leagues wide. People are getting COVID. People are dealing with family, flu, you name it. People are pretty much have their plates full, and racing's kind of been put on the back burner for right now. So we only have 8 guys here that are going to take to New Hampshire here tonight, but we are waiting for our one pre-race interview guy to jump in here. That is Gordon, not Gordon. That is Old School. But you talked about a fantastic finish last season there, Dale, with Tennessee basically stealing one. That ain't the first time he's done it, and that has not been the last time since. We saw him do it at Michigan when D-Blood and Pierce were battling once again, and he kind of seems to always be at the right place at the right time. Basically a Kevin Harvick, Mr. Where Did He Come From?
Yeah, I mean, hey, if it keeps on happening to you, then I mean, you'll take it. Like, and it's not like it's just complete luck. He had speed. He just ended up not being in the first two spots, but he was in the place where he was able to capitalize on either the situation that was happening or on a mistake that happened. So yeah, he was at the right place at the right time. But he still had speed. It's not like he couldn't contend for the win if he because but or whatever. Let me settle myself down here a little bit. He has speed, and he could have contended for the wins. He just ended up being in the right place at the right time. And you know what? I'm sure he's not complaining about it at all. I mean, there's 2 wins that were just handed to him. I know he was excited.
Absolutely, and that post-race interview after Michigan showed exactly how excited he was. He was out of breath. He was pumped up. He was ready to go punch through a wall and absolutely take down the world. But let's go ahead and get a pre-race interview here with one of our drivers who is getting ready to head out here to New Hampshire. Let's go ahead and get him in here, and let's see what he has got to say, and that is Old School. Old School, you got us, buddy? Old School, you there, buddy?
Yes, sir, am.
All right, man. Coming into this race with only 4 races left here in the regular season, you find yourself sitting 7th in the point standings. What is it going to take for you to kind of turn your season around? You've had a solid season so far, but what is it going to take for you to reach that next level in this season?
I wish I knew what that was. Seems like I'm a 10th off everywhere. The past couple of weeks, I've had some top 5s and running pretty good. Had issues with the Mountain Dew car and blew it up one race, but changed it over to Kale's ride and been having pretty good luck with it. So, I think I got a decent hot rod tonight. This track here, every time I'm there, I'm either running 40s or running 60s. It just seems to depend on what time of day I open it up.
Absolutely. How do you feel about tonight's race, though? Do you think you could have a chance of kind of ending that drought?
Not if the second place car rides behind the first place car for 60 laps without trying to rough him up any. But don't know. Just got to stay in the top 3, 4 and see what happens.
Yes, sir, and I look forward to it, and who knows, we might be talking to you at the end of this thing from Victory Lane.
I hope so, Roy.
All right, buddy, well, good luck.
Thanks.
All right, Dale, so we heard a little bit of how he's talked about how his season has gone so far. Absolutely not the way a driver wants your season to start out with only 4 races left in the regular season. He's sitting 8th in the points, so he's still making the playoffs, but he hasn't come out here and exactly proven that he deserves that playoff spot.
Yeah, it sucks. I do kind of see where he's coming from. I do kind of feel him. At least like when I started off, I wasn't the greatest. I don't know. It just really does suck. But I mean, it might not seem speed-wise that he doesn't quote-unquote deserve it. Mm-hmm. But I mean, he shows up to races.
Absolutely.
He's consistent. He doesn't make that many mistakes. As a result, he's in what I think actually is supposed to be 7th position. So I mean, he might not feel like he deserves it, or whatever the case may be. He most definitely deserves it. He shows up every week. One of our more, I would say consistent drivers. That might be the word. So, I mean, he most definitely deserves it. There's no reason for him to get down on himself. I don't remember if he was or not. But, like, it honestly, anything can happen. It really can. So, who knows? Who knows what will happen, I guess.
Absolutely. And he put on, I believe last week at Eldora, he was up there in the top 3 for a little bit of that race, if I'm not mistaken. So that was one of those tracks, and we did talk pre-race of that race, that it's anybody's race. Some of these guys that have kind of struggled throughout the first half of the season, that was their chance to prove themselves and possibly come out of there with the win. Obviously, Ranger, one of the most dominant guys in this field here, came away with his 2nd win of the season. But some of those guys that were used to seeing midfield, they were out there in the front, which was awesome to see, battling Tennessee and Ranger.
I love it when trucks/cars you don't really expect to see up front goes up front, and it just makes you have the feeling of you just kind of want them to win because it's almost like an underdog story of sorts.
Right.
So I was kind of rooting for him to like really go up and get 10, and I feel like at some points he may have been the fastest truck in like certain laps because it almost seemed like when Ranger and 10 were like way in front, it seemed like he was catching him a little bit. Now he never actually did catch him, but like it seemed like he did have the fastest truck at some point.
Absolutely. But before we get too much further into this, let's go ahead and meet your 16 drivers who started the season here with all the hopes and dreams of making the playoffs and winning the championship at the end of this one. So here we go. Let's meet your drivers.
Taking battle stations, I ain't on vacation. I'm just glowing up, living out aspirations. I beat the expectations and change the generations. And I'm still jumping fences, and you're just imitation. They're all in second places, but I don't live for praises. I play this life like a game, levels and stages. Let me paraphrase this, then do a couple pages. Watch this, watch this, watch this. Let me introduce you to a brand new thing.
Alright, Dale, like we've talked about, this is a tricky track here. It's called the Magic Mile for a reason. Now, what is that reason? I'm not exactly sure. Besides, it has produced some very magical moments and victories. But, like I said, this race has produced not only in NASCAR, but here in NEXXTCAR as well. Like we talked about earlier, Tennessee coming away with another one of those lucky wins. What do you think is going to happen as this race plays out? And what do you think these drivers are going to have to focus on most? Absolutely.
But like that's gonna be a major point of emphasis for trying to focus on. But as far as what's gonna happen, I don't know. I don't remember if Ranger ran last season, so I don't know because he wasn't in a battle, but he did.
He did. He spun it on the backstretch. He ran out of gas on the backstretch. I'm sorry. He was leading and ran out of gas.
Gotcha. So that's interesting for New Hampshire, but hey, I've seen far more crazier stuff happen. But I mean, Ranger 10 could still be battling it out. Who knows? Even the new guy, King Henry 2K, I don't know how fast he is. He might get 10 if he's fast enough. I mean, who knows? Maybe we'll see a surprise driver like last week come up and battle with the front guys.
Right, and like you said, anything is possible here. But let's go ahead and check out your track details for tonight at New Hampshire. It is a 1 mile track with banking of 2 to 7 degrees. What we talked about earlier is tires, and that is all because there is basically no banking in these turns. So that right front tire is going to get ate alive for 175 laps around this track tonight. 55 laps in Stage 1. Stage 2 is 45 laps, and Stage 3 they ended off with 75. Pit road limit is 45 mile an hour. This is a very tricky pit road to get onto coming out of turn number 4. If you get on that apron a little too early, you are risking spinning it out. And then if you try to come to pit road a little too late, you might miss that commitment cone. So this is a very treacherous pit road, and coming off of pit road can be just as dangerous. Like I said, going through 1 and 2, you're riding that apron Well, you're risking spinning it out a lot there because that apron is so slick. And then your pit window is 34 to 36 laps. So these guys are going to have their hands full all around this racetrack tonight.
Oh, yeah. I mean, New Hampshire, I'm pretty sure you said, is not that easy of a track.
No, sir.
I don't know why I call it the Magic Mile either, aside from the finishes. If anything, the only magic it gives upon people is sadness or something like that. and the feeling of wanting to leave the track and leave the race. But other than that, though, I mean, New Hampshire, again, very tricky. It is going to be interesting to see how these drivers handle the track, going down pit road. Because in my opinion, once you get it down, get it down on your entry to pit road, it isn't that difficult.
Mm-hmm.
But like, will they be able to get it down? That's the real question. But yeah, I'm just interested to see how these drivers race it, because one small mistake, you might screw yourself over and win.
Absolutely. Another thing that I didn't mention with that pit road that these guys are going to have to worry about is you're literally pitting from the racing line. You know, coming off of 4, you're holding it down low. Well, you're going to have to be dealing with the guy in front of you trying to come to pit road at the same time. So there's dangers all around this track, and these drivers are going to have to be at the top of their game here tonight.
Yeah, and that's where the importance of calling out when you go to pit road, it really comes into play. If you don't call it out, you can cause a pile up. Like, it's not going to be that difficult. As long as communication, if there's clear-cut communication between all drivers, we shouldn't see a wreck happening from someone trying to go down pit road.
Key word, shouldn't. But like you said earlier, anything is possible. But let's go ahead and check out our keys to victory here tonight. You've got to be patient. It's a long race, 175 laps. Something's going to happen during this race. This is one of those tracks that it's inevitable. Something will happen during this race to somebody. And you've got to be patient. You got to keep your cool. It's a long race, 175 laps. Obviously, we got stages. So you've just got to be patient, and you'll work your way back up there, no doubt about it. Pit road, you've got to be careful with it, like we were talking about. Very treacherous. You got to watch so you don't get ran over from behind. You got to make sure you're not the guy running the guy in front of you that's pitting over. And you just got to make sure you don't speed. A lot of dangers around this track, and pit road is probably the most important one. And then like you talked about, Dale, you have got to take care of your tires. This track eats tires for lunch. This thing will destroy your tires. And if you are not careful, it will destroy your race.
Yeah, I want to say it's happened to me. I don't think it has, but I've seen it happen. It just screws people over. Like, you race there, it sucks. And it's kind of hard to kind of adjust to it, because it's like, because you need a truck that's perfectly loose and tight. You need it tight enough to where, I think you need it tight enough to where loose enough to where your right front won't like wear out a lot, but at the same time tight enough to where it like won't get super squirrely. So you need that proper balance, so your right front doesn't go down or like get worn out as badly. But like, that's way easier said than done.
Oh yeah, you are not kidding. Brandon G. Pre, I appreciate that host there, my man.
I do want to say though,
appreciate it, brother.
One thing I feel like we could have talked about this. I have been kind of in and out a little bit because of other stuff. But one thing that I feel like is worth mentioning is the fact that this, in a sense, for some parts, kind of race like a short track. So there's going to be a lot of, or some beating, banging going on, especially going into the turns.
Oh, absolutely. And, we just went from the shortest track on the schedule at Eldora. Obviously, that is a track that is unlike any other track on the schedule, being a dirt track. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting here tonight, especially when you got a couple of these drivers that aren't too happy with each other. Now, I don't believe our biggest feud that we have, probably Ranger and Pierce. Pierce is not racing tonight, so that's kind of getting put to the side. D-Blood and Pierce, neither one of those two are racing, and those two have a feud. So Pierce kind of finds himself in a big bit of a pickle here. He's got two different drivers that he's kind of got a little bit of feud with. Ranger hasn't raced him the cleanest, and then you've got D-Blood and everything that happened there at the turns 3 and 4 of Michigan, which obviously led Tennessee on to win that, his first win of the season. But, you know, you got drivers like Pierce who, let's go ahead and take a quick look at the truck standings, comes into this race here sitting third. He does have a sub tonight, so he shouldn't lose too many points. But you've got some of these other guys, like we mentioned, D-Blood not racing tonight. Gordon not racing tonight. Nick not racing tonight. So there are 3 drivers there in the top 6, Dale, that are not racing. They will be getting last position points. So this is the time for, like we talked to Old School in the pre-race. You've got Tobster, Jay Black. This is the time that these guys need to take advantage of those guys ahead of them not running, because 4 races left in the regular season. Points matter now more than ever.
Yeah, I mean, just looking at the standings, especially with Old School, Toaster, Jay Black, I mean, those 2 are just separated by 2 points in total. But Old School is 7 points behind Nick. So with this race and with stage points and all that, this is the perfect opportunity to use those stage points, capitalize on gain these positions, at least against Nick. I don't think they'll be able to catch up against Gordon. I could be wrong. I really can, but I don't think so, especially with D-Blood. But, like, this really helps make up ground and makes this fight potentially even more interesting.
All right, hold on. I'm getting the running here from qualifying. They just finished up here. You said who has the pole? So Tennessee Titans starting it off here with the pole. Who are y'all's Superdog picks for tonight? Let's go ahead and start it off here. Who's your pick here tonight, Dale?
Oh, man. I don't know. I personally don't. But I guess I'll pick 10, because I feel like last week he had this, but he could have potentially won it if not for a few things. And obviously he won it last season, so I feel like he can, with a little bit of mix of strategy, if strategy is involved with how the race ends, I think he has the truck to win this race.
Don't accept that invite yet. My pick tonight is definitely Ranger. I believe he is going to get it figured out. Like we talked about last season, on the last lap, coming down that backstretch, he ran out of fuel. He was leading. So I think he is looking to make things better here tonight. And I'm going to go ahead and say that Ranger comes out of here with the win. Unfortunately, Kevin, Nick is not racing tonight. He just had a baby. So he's dealing with everything on that in the family. So unfortunately, he is not racing tonight. But yeah, we're just waiting for these guys to start the race, and we will get in there in a second. So don't go anywhere. We will be right back here to bring you the start of the New Hampshire Motor Speedway.
It would be kind of funny if...
Let's get it. The green flag is out here as they come out of 4 and into the Geico. Green flag in the air here at the New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Tennessee first. King Henry, the rookie, making his debut in NEXXTCAR, qualified second and already getting into it with the 2-car of Tuck, filling in for Pierce.
Yeah. Well, hopefully he can do the 16 truck prom, which is interesting that he's a 16 and a Silverado. That's very interesting. But Yeah, hopefully you do the previous owner of the 16 truck proud with his performance. But we'll see what happens.
Right, and not the start that Baked Tater wanted in that 34 Chevy Silverado. I'm not sure what happened to him on the start there, but he has fallen back way behind the field. But I got a feeling tonight we're going to see a lot of cautions. So he'll be right back up there before we know. But let's go ahead and get back up to the front here. As
The 24 just hit the 2 truck and just moved him out the way. Hey, wrong driver in the 2 truck, buddy.
yeah, for real. He's locked in on that number 2 truck. That's all he cares about. He don't care who's driving it. But Ranger not making friends this season as we have got a battle for the lead. The defending series champion in that number 4 truck and the rookie making his debut, taking the lead, and Tennessee's going to drift way up, giving second there to Ranger.
Yep. Ranger, I mean, he's already gained, I think, 3 spots.
Whoa, Tennessee hard on the brakes, gets rear-ended by Tuck. He's going to keep it going here, but Tuck is now going to open up that window for himself, and Tuck!
Ooh.
Wow.
If you guys did not believe Ronnie when he said, oh, the 4 truck got in the wall.
Yeah, we're getting word that 4 truck is lagging a little bit, so he is going to be dropping to the back here. But we have got a battle for the lead, the 24 and the 16.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you
Ranger just cut his nose off.
Ooh. I don't like the feeling when someone does that to me.
No,
it's happened to me before in other leagues. It's not the funnest thing to happen. It really isn't.
No, it is not.
Up yet.
But that 16 truck is not backing down. He said, I might be making my debut in NEXXTCAR, but I can hang with you veterans. And he is making it shown here in the early laps of this race.
Yeah, I mean, he's really hanging with Ranger. I mean, Ranger is very fast. Not even just any track, but also here. I mean, I guess I should have said that opposite ways, but I mean, he's hanging with them, so it's not like, he doesn't seem like a slouch.
No.
He's really hanging in there. He almost hit the 24, but he went a little bit on the brakes just so he wouldn't. But he's still there.
I think he owes that 24 truck a little bit of a bump and run here a little bit after that nose cut. Like you said, that is not a fun position to be in when that driver does cut your nose off, because this game has that safety bubble that always seems to kind of vary on where it is. So that driver, when he cuts your nose off, can always make contact with the front of your truck, and before you know it, you're either going to the inside wall or into the outside. As we see King Henry way down on the apron there, trying a different line there through 3 and 4.
Yeah, he is definitely putting on some laps, but with this being the early part of the race, I am curious, since we don't know much about him, he's actually gonna fall off hard or not.
Right, and we have got the 12 of Buckstopper coming down pit road way early here to be trying to make any kind of a strategy pit stop. He still can't make it to the end. There's 55 laps in stage 1, and the pit window is 34 to 36. So even after this, he still cannot make it to the end. So it's kind of interesting to see what kind of a strategy he may be trying to play, but I don't see it working out, at least not right now, as Tennessee is kind of lagging a little bit now that we are spectating him.
Yeah, the only thing I can really think of as to why Buckstopper actually went down pit road is the fact that he said before this race, not obviously on air, but he said that he still is 100%, he was only 60%, so maybe he was using it as a break.
And that very well could be.
Something.
Like we talked about before the race started, there are a lot of people, and not just this league, but leagues all around that are dealing with COVID, family things, the flu, So this is a rough time for leagues right now here in pretty much the dead middle of winter. And, Buckstopper, it's great to have him back and everything. He spent, I believe it was 3 or 4 weeks in the hospital. So it's great to have him back out here and healthy and everything. But, yeah, it's going to take him a little bit to definitely get back to 100%. And he started the season off hot, and that is what is so disappointing about that whole situation is he had a chance to be sitting right now, probably in the top 3-5 in the standings. He started the season off at Daytona getting the first win of the season. And then immediately after that, found himself stuck in the hospital with COVID. And obviously since then has dropped in the points. But I have no doubt he can make the playoffs, especially with a bunch of people missing and everything. But it's going to be interesting and cool to see just how he does climb his way back up through those standings.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. He did start the season off with a win. But, I mean, Daytona's Daytona. It's not a true testament to people's speed. And it doesn't, and at least here, it doesn't seem like he was having the best of times. Granted, obviously, it doesn't seem like he is the worst on the track. But obviously, we never had a great idea of who is the worst on the track anyways. But, yeah.
Absolutely. Ranger is always a good pick there, Kevin, no matter what kind of a track we are at. He is probably the most dominant person here in the Truck Series. Like you said, he's a little better in Tennessee, but not a whole lot.
And that hopefully it doesn't actually happen again in the playoffs.
Right, absolutely. And that is when it always seems to hit and hurt the most, is when these guys do make the playoffs. It seems like everything that could possibly go wrong on and off the track, that is when it all goes wrong. But we have got Ranger out here, putting it down here, leading the race. Let's go ahead and let's bring you guys some big news that is coming to the NEXXTCAR Racing League. Starting this Wednesday, we are starting the all-new NEXXTCAR Racing League podcast. Like I said, it is on Wednesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern. I am excited about it. It is going to be hosted by myself and Nick Trudeau, the owner of NEXXTCAR. So this is going to be a great time. We're going to be talking about league information, any kind of sports information, baseball, football, whatever. And we have got a lot to talk about this Wednesday. The biggest story, I think, right now, outside of this league, all comes down to Tom Brady. Is he actually retiring like all the early news was saying the other day? But then he immediately came out and said that he is not retiring. He has not made his final decision yet. So tune in Wednesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern. I will be live streaming the podcast to YouTube, my Facebook gaming page, and to Twitch. And then uploading it to Anchor, so that will be going out to Spotify and all the other top podcast streaming services. So definitely be on the lookout for that. Like I said, Wednesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern here on the NEXXTCAR Racing League podcast. But let's get back to the action here on the track, as we have got one heck of a battle for that lead.
Oh, almost a little bit of contact, but that 16 truck's not going away.
He is not. He is making it rough on Ranger.
Yeah, it's allowing the 2 and the 4 truck, the 4 truck got around the 11. They're both starting to catch back up, so this battle for the lead might just get even more interesting.
Absolutely. Right now it's sitting with 2 trucks, but like you said, those guys out back are closing in, especially if those guys, this is a quote-unquote short track. But this draft down the front and backstretch could be detrimental, as the 16 just cut the nose off a Ranger. Little bit of payback there, I believe. And here comes Tuck and Tennessee.
Yeah, they've definitely cut their lead, or that lead from the first 2 trucks down a little bit. But with the 16 getting around the 24, I mean, will the lead start to open back up, or will the 24 even start to drop back a little bit, actually?
I don't know. It's going to get interesting here, because they are catching that lap truck of the 12 of Buckstopper. So where does he go to not really interfere with this battle? And it looks like he's going to go down on the apron.
I think it looks like, oh no, he didn't. I was going to say, I think it was just because, his exits, I've seen it for a few different laps, have not been the greatest. He's either been getting loose or he got a little too tight. But I think he's going inside now. Nope. Wow.
Whoa, he's going to get in the front of the 24 truck a little bit there. That was Buckstopper really holding up Ranger. But Ranger's gonna, oh, contact there, Buckstopper. A little bit of a non-appreciation bump there. No doubt about it. But now Tuck all over the back bumper of Ranger for second. And now Buckstopper finds himself in front of Tennessee.
I personally think he kind of screwed the 16 over a little bit. I think he made him go up the track a little more. And then 24 tried to jump all over that and kind of screwed with Buckstopper a little bit. I think, like I mentioned before, Buckstopper's exits have not been the greatest. He's been getting loose sometimes. So I think that might have been a reason. But who knows? It could have been a little bit of frustration as well. Oh, that's lag. That's most definitely lag, I think.
For who?
For he just slammed right into the
wall. There he goes. He's going. Oh, he hit pit road. He has hit the pit road wall. Tennessee Titan implications for our defending series champion and our current points leader, as he has just got into it with the lapped car of Buckstopper in the 12, coming off of turn 4.
I still think it's lag, because he was lagging right before. I think it was more lag. I don't think the Buckstopper did anything, if I'm being honest. I do want to say that.
No, we are getting word from race control now. Obviously, that is Tennessee, our in-race reporter. Buckstopper got loose while he was underneath him, so it was a little bit of contact.
Gotcha. I do want to say, though, I don't know if you looked at 20 Truck's scheme. It almost looks like he's trying to do an iRacing scheme, but I do like it a lot. I'm not going to lie.
Absolutely, that does look like the iRacing 12 truck. If you go on iRacing.com, that looks exactly like it. But hey, it looks good. It looks good. And it's doing its job as he is out here running, and I believe the 5th position?
Yeah, I think he ended up passing 10 for 5th.
But
with Old School actually being 4th now.
But let's go ahead and let's take a quick replay of Tennessee Titan there coming off of turn 4. As you can see, everything is clear and smooth coming through 3 and 4. But you can see there in the back, he gets underneath Buckstopper. A little bit of contact made. And Tennessee smacks right into the barrels there coming off of 4. As you head onto pit road. I guess it's not barrels. It's a buffer there now. It used to be barrels. But let's get back up to the action up front as we got Buckstopper back on pit road. Like we talked about, I believe he's just trying to catch his breath here a little bit. You know, trying to make sure he doesn't wreck anybody. And he's just out here putting down laps, collecting points, and trying to make himself a spot in the playoffs.
Yeah, that pit stop also could have been pitting just so he can make it
to the end. Yep.
Yeah, so because obviously the other drivers need a pits.
Right.
Who knows when that's going to happen, but him pitting now, it'd probably get him back 1 lap down, if I had to assume. Or maybe even go back down 2 laps, because he was 2 laps down beforehand. But
I believe he will get his lap back. We're getting word that he is currently 2 laps down right now. So he will get his lap back once everybody pits, and then obviously at the beginning of stage 2, he will be the lucky dog as long as no one else goes a lap down. But that 16 truck, for a minute there, he looked like he was pulling away from the 24, but now Ranger is starting to reel him back down as he has got a mirror full now of Tuck in that too.
Yeah, it's been pretty much the same, but yeah, the 11's on pit road. He's the first one of the lead lap trucks to actually go down pit road, so that might just change strategy up a little bit for the other drivers.
Absolutely. That has probably just played. Yeah, that has just played probably everybody's hand, because you've got to pit when that guy does. You can't let him get fresher tires and make up that gap that he was behind. So that kind of, like we were, like you said, it plays everybody's hand here to do what Old School did, as you do see that 16 giving up the lead to make that pit stop.
Yeah, I think the 34 is in as well.
And the 24 is coming.
Yep.
And that's going to give the lead to Pierce. But how long does Pierce stay out? Because he is going to be giving up Tuck. He is going to be giving up a lot of time and a lot of track position the longer he stays out. So I believe he's going to have to come in this lap. I mean, especially when the guys that you're battling for the lead and stage win have just pitted, you can't let them get a lap or 2 ahead of you on the tires. It does look like he is coming in this time as he's slowing way down. He is not coming in this time. That is interesting.
Yeah, the 20 And she's also down pit road. I
Yep.
think the only other driver to not pit is 10. And it looks like he's going down pit road right now, though.
Yep, Tennessee is entered onto pit road, and yeah, that leaves Tuck, the only one who has not pitted yet in this stage. How much longer does he stay out? Because at this point, he's costing himself a ton of time.
Yeah. Speaking of time,
And
though,
he is still
the
staying
24
out.
bird. Wow. I wonder if he's trying to play something. I don't know if he's trying to get a caution or what's happening, but it's kind of weird to be staying out this long.
Even right
Well, I was
now,
gonna
though, if he does get a caution, everyone else can just kind of take the wave around because they're on some fresher tires. So you're not going to really trap anybody a lap down right now. As you see Tennessee, I'm not sure what he's doing, but he's coming back off of pit road.
Coming back off of pit road. Wait, did he pit again? Because I know he pitted once. I think that was his scheduled stop.
Really? That was a long pit stop. He must have sped onto pit road or something.
I would not be surprised if he did. I mean, you said it before. Pit road is not an easy place to get onto, so he may have sped.
Yeah, and Tuck is still not coming to pit road. He's got to come. I mean,
Yeah.
that right front tire has got to be all but gone.
Yeah. Going away from the lead, though.
There he
there's
goes.
a
He's
battle
coming
starting to
now.
brew up.
The
Yeah,
2
there's
is
starting
on
a
pit
battle starting
road.
to brew up. There's a battle brewing up between the 20 and the 34. I don't know exactly for what position, but they are right now close to each other.
Yes, they are.
And I don't know if there's anything going to come from it, but the 34 looks like he's thinking.
He tried to, but I don't think he wanted to slide up into the 20. Going to give him plenty of room here as we are still only in stage number 1. So still a long way to go. 55 laps here in this stage.
All right. The 2 just starting to exit, and yeah, he's lost a lot of ground. Actually, I think Old School's even gonna pass him potentially. No, never mind. He doesn't get there close enough, but
Nope. And
I mean, he lost a lot of time.
yes, he did. And with 22 coming to 21 laps to go this time, I don't know if there's enough time for those new tires to really kick in and make that big of a difference to run back down King Henry. And whatever King Henry did, it worked out perfectly for him because he has pulled away from that 24 truck.
Yeah, even like after pitting, he didn't have this much of a gap.
No.
And he pitted, I think, a lap or two. Yeah, a lap
Before
the 24.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, that truck is. I mean, I'm just gonna say this right now. This King Henry dude is doing like way better than the person who drove that 16 truck before. I'm just gonna say that right now. Like, I don't know. I don't know, but I mean, he does have a tall task ahead of him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he's going to make the playoffs this year. I don't think it's possible to, but next season, it's going to be very interesting to see, especially if he stays in the league. And I hope he does. But
Right.
it almost seems like we don't know that much information on him, but just from this race alone, it seems like he can
hold
pretty
his
much
own.
hang with the best of them. Yeah, I mean, he's leading, pulling away. He could very well be a contender for other races in the even in the playoffs. Be one of the drivers that who's out
You
there,
there?
not necessarily a playoff driver, but can really mess with the point standings.
All right, well, my
by
headset
gaining
just
those,
died.
like,
We're going to get him
oppositions,
back
and
on
even
here in
gain
a
some
second.
wins.
Give me
Not
1
play a
second
part like I
here.
did 2 seasons ago.
Like I said, my headset just died. We've got to get him back up and rolling here. Are you there?
Yes, I do hear you.
All right, yep, my headset died. So now I've got to get
Yep.
your audio coming back through here.
Gotcha.
There we go. All right.
Yeah.
All right, we are back up and rolling here.
Yeah, like I was saying though, he could potentially play spoiler in the playoffs, the 16 truck, because like he could do like what I did 2 seasons ago, because I won 3 races in season 4. I played spoiler for Evo, Pierce, Keystone. I won some races. I stole some races away from playoff drivers. He could do the same thing. I mean, he has a lot of speed here. I'm honestly very excited to see what he does here in the future races.
Absolutely, 100%. Tuck is not running down the two leaders in front of him at all. These new tires just do not seem to be really working for him right now. I don't know if he maybe threw the kitchen sink at that truck and changed that entire setup or what, but he just does not seem to have the speed that he had before. But I guess he is now running down Ranger. He's changed his line a lot now. He's running kind of that third line down to the second on the exit. But
Yeah.
I don't know what he's doing, but on the entrance, he's gaining a ton. But on the exit, he is losing it all.
I mean, if it works, it works. If it doesn't, then obviously you need to adjust. I do think he's catching Ranger a teeny bit, but I really do think that the 16 truck is pulling away a decent amount, though, which is why it might seem like he's not catching him as much. I don't know.
Yeah, no, that 16 truck is a man on a mission right now. But he is going to have the lapped car of Buckstopper once again to deal with. So that's going to be interesting to see where does Buckstopper go with these leaders. He kind of held him up a little bit a couple laps ago. So be interesting to see if he's just as aggressive as it looks like he's going to go to the high side here and allow the 16 to try to get underneath him, but he's going to get down on the apron. You got to be careful with that too, getting on that apron, because you could easily lose it going through these turns.
Yeah, from what I remember, I'm pretty sure in the first half of the run you can afford to do it like he did and not lose it, but as soon as that like halfway mark gets hit, that's when you really need to start being careful, because it can spin out at any point in time. But I don't think they necessarily reached that right now, but they could have. I don't know how many laps to go they are. I mean, we are talking about NASCAR heat after all, so I mean, I wouldn't know. But I mean,
Yeah.
Buckstopper at least allowed
you
the
said
16
13.
truck to get by him. I think he's going to do the same thing with Ranger unless he has something against him, which who knows, he might.
Right, and 12 laps to go. Can Ranger, can he run down the leader? King Henry, does he make any mistakes here with 12 to go? He has been a man on a mission here tonight. But we are going to step away here for a quick second. We will be right back here. Do not go anywhere, as you will not miss a single second of the action here in this NEXXTCAR side by side. Alright, we are back here to bring you the last 9 laps here of this stage number 1. We have got a huge battle, like you just mentioned, Dale, between this 34 and the 20 of Jay Black. These guys have been racing side by side, bumper to bumper. What seems about to be about the last 30 to 40 laps here. These guys cannot get away from each other, and this is going to be something that we keep an eye on as this race goes on.
Yeah, I mean, ever since Jay Black ended up leaving pit row, he met the 34. The 34 has been trying to get around him so much. 34 ended up getting around him, and then 20 went side by side again with the 34. The 20 looks to be pulling away. That's what it seems like. Another thing though, Tuck is starting to really catch up to the 24. He doesn't have many laps, or I don't think he'll be able to catch the 16. But who knows? He might be able to get that second spot for this. before the end of the stage break.
Absolutely. Those new tires finally kind of look like they are kicking in there a little bit, but it might be, like you said, a little too late here to catch that 16, but he could easily get second here from Ranger, who pitted about 4 laps before Tuck did, and that 16 pitted 5 laps before he did. So here he goes. Ranger's going to drift up a little bit. That's going to open up the door for Tuck. Not quite close enough to get there, though.
What's honestly crazy is that this is where the 2 truck was before pit stops actually started happening.
Right.
And we didn't think he was actually going to be able to catch these guys, but I mean, hey, he's proved us wrong.
Absolutely. No, I ruled him out on catching these guys. No doubt about it. I will admit it. And he has proved me wrong 100%. And it's going to be interesting to see, because we know that 2 truck and that 24 truck do not get along. Different drivers tonight. But we've seen where the 24 has already made some severe contact with the 2 earlier on. As you see Tuck diving it down on the inside of that 24 truck. But it's going to be interesting to see how this stage 1 plays out here with what I believe is 4 laps to go this time. How many to go this time? Yep, they did hit just 4 laps to go. As you saw Tuck just about destroy the back bumper of that 24 truck. Oh, he's going to dive it in real deep there in 3 and 4. Can he make it stick on those newer but older tires? And he can. Drag race down the front stretch. 3 to go.
He has inside position, so you could potentially make this pass. I don't think he'll be able to make it off this corner, but potentially off the off turn 3 and 4. Also, this is not NEXXTCAR related at all, but the Rams just beat the 49ers.
Did they? Absolutely.
Yeah,
I love it. Let's go. I wanted the Rams. Not going to lie, I wanted them. I wanted Matthew Stafford to finally make it after all those years in Detroit, giving it all he had and getting nothing in return in playoffs or Super Bowls. So he got released. I'm glad he's finally made his way there. But we have got a lap and a half left here in stage number 1 as the rookie making his debut is going to be pulling away looking for that checkered flag as Tuck just made the pass on that 24 truck, but Ranger not backing down. White flag in the air here for stage number 1.
I thought there was going to be crossover right there, but Ranger
That
didn't
was white flag, right?
get close. Also, 10's passing 11 for 4th right now.
That's good.
Man.
Tennessee did not have the best of starts to this race, but the guy who had a great start, started in second. That is the guy making his debut, is going to come off of 4, making stage number 1 win. Tuck holds off Ranger for second. Ranger getting third, and Tennessee is going to hold off Old School for 4th.
Yeah, we have. I was going to say we kind of had a battle for 5th. Or for 6th and 7th, but the 20 did pull away from the 34.
Yeah, no, I was watching the 34 there a little bit, and he was getting extremely loose towards the end of that run. He was getting extremely loose.
Yeah. But end of the first stage, I mean, they got very spread out, so which is why there weren't really any cautions. But, like, when they were bunched up, they were kind of beating and banging on each other. So I would not be surprised if after this that there'd be a quick caution.
Oh, absolutely. You know, the beating and banging is only going to get more aggressive as these laps wind down. You know, I think they were like, you know what, this is stage 1. We need to chill out a little bit. The only time it got a little, quote-unquote, out of hand, and it wasn't anywhere close to out of hand, but that was when Tennessee got put into the pit road wall, which was just obviously a racing incident. No harm meant there. But that's about the only time that we really saw the beating and banging really hurt somebody's performance. But we are green flag here in stage number 2. Tennessee did not get going in the 4 truck, and he is backing up that outside line.
Yeah, I was going to say the 24 ended up gaining a spot on pit road, and he's able to get the lead, actually.
Yes, he is. He had a brilliant restart as Tennessee's in the wall. Tennessee spinning it down the backstretch. And he is around and several other cars into him as well.
Did he not? Wait, what? He went right through him on my screen. I don't know.
On mine, he T-boned him, and then Tennessee spun back around. We're waiting.
Yeah,
we're waiting to get word if that is going to be a caution or not.
Look like it.
Nope, that is no caution.
Race on.
Green flag stays, and that is good because we have got a great battle out front here. King Henry dominated the second half of Stage 1, Dale, but now he finds himself stuck back here in third behind Tuck and Ranger. It's going to be cool and interesting to see if he and can work his way back up there to the lead. Whoa, caution's out. We're getting word, late caution. Late caution call. I'm not exactly sure what took so long there for the caution to be called, but the caution is out for the spin of Tennessee.
Oh, really? That's interesting. I was going to say, I saw Buckstopper kind of near the Ford truck, and he wasn't even near him. But I guess it was Buckstopper. Hey, I think, doesn't he get back on the lead lap?
That should put that 12 truck back on the lead lap.
Yeah, it works.
Is Buckstopper back on the lead lap? He is still one lap down according to race control. But that's all right, though. If he can keep that pace, there are going to be more cautions. There are going to be more cautions. But let's go ahead and take a quick replay here of the what exactly transpired to bring out that caution coming through 1 and 2 there down the backstretch. Everything was good, and then Tennessee got put up into the outside wall and then just got hit by the 20 and just chaos pursued. And then 2 laps later, we get the caution call. Little bit of a late call, an interesting call, because honestly, I don't see why that was a caution. But hey, who am I? We're just up here in the booth.
I don't know. It was weird because I feel like the 12 hit on obviously on my screen, and obviously he didn't actually spin out. It's just very weird, but you know, it happens from time to time, even in actual NASCAR, so it's not like I'm gonna complain that much. Also, I think the 2 truck just took 2 tires.
I think so, and good God, this pit road is ridiculous. But absolutely, I do think he did, because he came out of there with a big lead off of pit road.
Yeah. Hey, also this works out well for 10. He's not back up with the field.
Absolutely, yeah, and it's going to be interesting because he did not get a good jump on that restart for stage number 2. So it's going to be interesting to see what exactly is the issue there and what prohibited him from getting that good launch. But Tuck in that 2-car, Ranger in the 24, make up your front row as they are going back green this time in the Geico start zone. Ranger really backing up here on that inside line. I don't know if he's trying to get a good jump or what, but it is not going to work. I don't know what his intentions were in that, but that stacked up the entire field behind him, and that made him fall back to third. He restarted in second, but now he finds himself in third as the 16 made his way around that outside.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm not sure what Ranger was doing, but he was stacking up that inside line.
I feel like it might have been a little bit of a mistake. He just kind of misjudged himself, like with his speed, maybe. But that's all I can really think of. Even though he's starting to fall off a little bit, maybe it was just for that one corner. But like, there is actually decently big gap between the 16, 24, even though the 2 and the 16 are now battling for the lead side by side.
Yes, they are. Coming off of turn 2, you got Tuck in the 2 on the outside and the 16 of King Henry on the inside. Tuck giving him no room on the entrance into 2. Into 3. The 16's going to slide up with maybe a little bit of contact there. You would have been able to fit a piece of paper. And here comes Ranger with a crossover. He got a huge run coming out of 4. And he had nowhere to go and had to take it on the inside. And King Henry drifts way up. Can he get the big run off of 2? It looks like he's going to with the big draft. He's going to go to the inside. They're going to be 3 wide heading into turn 3.
Oh, boy. These are the moments.
Tucks into the outside wall.
broadcaster? Yeah. The moments you love to see as a broadcaster, but not the moment you like to see as a racer. I'm gonna be honest.
Oh, you love to see it as Brock Tuck. No room at all, but makes his way to the bottom. The 16 gives him a big shot.
Holy cow.
Here comes that 16 there.
wide.
3 wide once again.
Word.
It worked the first time. You might as well try it a second time.
You know,
Oh!
meanwhile, with all this happening, Old School is starting to catch back up as well as the 20 truck. It's only working out for the people behind.
Absolutely. These guys are just slowing each other down at this point. And now Ranger is going to clear the field and leaves Tuck and King Henry side by side. This is what Ranger wants to see in that mirrors. Those two battling side by side. And Ranger's just going to check out now.
Yep, that battle is actually going on a decent amount of time. We also have another battle between the 20 and 11.
Yes,
I think 11 hit the wall, though, so the 20...
He's back into the
gonna
wall.
be clearing them, yeah.
Jay Black turning things around. You saw him earlier in stage 1 battling Tater in that 34 truck for 7th. Well, he has just worked his way up into 4th. What a turnaround for that 20 truck here today.
Hey, love to see it.
You do. You love to see it. Didn't get the start that he wanted to this race. Like I said, he's back there battling for 7th. At the end of stage number 1, well, here in the early laps of stage 2, it looks like whatever he did to that truck has worked, and he has climbed his way to 4th. And now Old School has got his mirror full of that 4 truck and the 34.
I do want to mention, Jay Black was one of the 3 drivers that were in the, I wouldn't say the danger zone, but they were one of the 3 drivers that could have capitalized on the 3 of the top 6 drivers being out.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, the first stage didn't work out so well, but like if he can continue this progressive run for this stage and potentially even enter the race, he's gonna be gaining some spots, especially since Toaster's not here. He should be in front of him. Old School, he could potentially get in front of. Maybe even Nick.
Right. I mean, let's take another quick look at the standings here. But Jay Black, he's tied with Toaster right now for 8th. And he's only 2 points behind Old School for 7th. So he still finds himself right in the middle of things. And like you said, not too far behind Nick. And with these guys not racing tonight, that is going to help them out a lot. And they have got to take full advantage of it. But Nico, Chrissy, Darren, Sonny, Mingel, Kuhl, Raul, Muhammad, Asba, and Brandon, I appreciate the likes, the follows, and the shares. I appreciate it. We got 108 of y'all tuning in here tonight. Keep it up, guys. You all are killing it right now. But let's get back to the action on the track as we got several drivers getting loose off it too, including the driver we were just praising in that 20 truck, and that has opened the door back up for Tennessee as he has finally climbed his way back into that top 5.
Yeah, I will say the 16 truck finally got around the 2 trucks, so who knows? I mean, the 16 truck, if I had to assume, is going to probably clock out, which he's starting to, and it might be only a matter of time before he catches back up to that 24.
Oh, absolutely. I think right now that 16 truck is the fastest truck on this course. Another guy that might be right up there with them is Tennessee. As you can see, he's using that apron a little bit here to help his truck kind of turn a little bit, save a little bit on that right front. It's going to work that right rear a lot more because your truck is going to get looser. But he is trying to make that line work, and it's actually working pretty good for him as he is now all over the back bumper of that 20 truck of Jay Black. King Henry, like we talked about, he has worked his way past that 2 truck and up to 2nd. Can he run down Ranger? That is going to be the battle that we keep an eye on as we are getting word that Tennessee...
There's something.
We're getting word a little bit of a lag spike. Little bit of a lag spike from that 20 truck, and that is going to cost Tennessee a lot of track position. And here comes that 34 truck of Tater trying to take full advantage of it. Oh, he's there. He's underneath them. He's going to have to dive back in behind him, get that draft down the front stretch. Tater has got to use that draft to his advantage here because Tennessee is not one of those drivers, Dale, that you can just kind of go out there and casually pass.
Oh, no. He won a championship, for goodness sake. There's no way he's going to be hard to pass, or easy to pass, I should say. He's most definitely going to be hard to pass. He's not going to bump into you like some other drivers maybe in this league, like make it super tough. Mm-hmm. But, like, if he knows he's faster, he is not going to pull over.
Oh, no, he is not. And here comes Tater there, side by side, heading into 1 and 2. Tater trying to make that low line stick and work. He's going to lose that position as Tennessee's going to get that big outside run off of 2. That inside line is not exactly going to work right now. You're going to have to run that middle to high line to get that big run off the turn. Is now you see Tennessee cutting off the nose of Tater. Tater's into the wall coming off of 4.
And not to go away from that battle, but I'm going to do so anyways. The 16 is basically about caught the 24 for that lead spot.
Yes, he has. Let's ride around on his roof cam here. Let's see what kind of a line he's running. He's running about a half a truck with below where Ranger is, and we are about to have a battle on our hands here between these two. Oh, he's going to get a big run here through 1 and 2. He's going to use that big draft off of Ranger down that backstretch. Ranger, one of the most dominating guys here in this truck series, Dale. Well, tonight, I think it's safe to say King Henry is making Ranger run probably the best race he's going to have to run if he is going to win this thing.
Yeah, we both picked drivers who are very good in the beginning of this race to potentially win this race as a 16.
I'm not to cut you off, but he made that pass look easy.
That was pretty clean. If I'm gonna be honest, that was pretty clean. We both picked drivers who I honestly think are in the top 3 for fast, and maybe top 4. You could probably put Tuck in top 3. But we never picked the 16. We don't know. This is his first race here. But this man is putting on quite a show, if I'm being honest. And I just know in the league chat, I'm just going to get a bunch of stuff talked to me, saying how this guy in the 16 truck is better than the previous one. But honestly, I'm here for it. I'm here to watch this man go on trying to win races.
Absolutely. Dimitri, Raju, appreciate the likes and follows, guys. Keep it up. You guys are absolutely killing it here tonight. But absolutely, King Henry making that pass look easy against Ranger, who is another one of the guys, just like we were talking about Tennessee, is not easy to pass, but made it look easy.
Yeah, he made it look easy, and let me just say passing Ranger is never easy. I'm kind of baffled by how easy he made it look, especially in New Hampshire, since this is not the easiest place to pass people. Mm-hmm. I'm still kind of shocked. It was a pretty good pass.
Oh, absolutely.
Ranger's not going away at all. He's pulling away a little bit, but he's still there, we'll just say.
Right, and not only was it a good-looking pass, it was about the cleanest pass we have seen tonight. There was no bumper used, no door banging, nothing. He knew he was faster like you talked about, and he let it be known as we have got guys getting ready to make their green flag pit stops here. We're getting word that 4 truck is going to be coming here pretty soon. That is Tennessee. He is currently running in the 4th position behind that 2 truck of Tuck. But Tennessee getting ready to make his pit stop amongst others.
It's honestly great to see the Ford truck rebound after the stuff that's happened to him in this stage. And obviously the first stage in general, but it's definitely great to see him rebound from it.
Absolutely, and that is one of those key things that we talked about in pre-race. It's a long race. Things are going to happen at this track. It's inevitable. just let it happen. But you've got to rebound from that. You've got to stay patient. It's a long race, 175 laps here tonight, and Tennessee has absolutely nailed that. And keeping his cool, found his way back up to fourth. He's been involved in a wreck by himself. He had a terrible restart at the beginning of stage 2. So he has had quite a few mistakes and everything happen, but he has kept his cool and finds himself running in that top 5.
Yeah, I mean, he's pulling away from 5th, and I think he's actually catching Tuck as well. He's making a lot of ground. He's most definitely pulling away for the 20. Like, there's a very big gap now. When a few laps before, that gap was not big at all. But I think he's most definitely closing in on the 2 truck.
Absolutely, and Goostone, I appreciate the like.
Ooh.
All of y'all that are on Facebook, please go to my Twitch channel, Ron Noggle. This link is in my Facebook page description. Please go to Twitch, hit that follow button. I would truly appreciate it. You guys are absolutely killing it on Facebook. We have just hit 190 viewers. You guys are destroying it right now. Keep it going. Keep the shares coming. We are at 29 shares. That is going to help this channel grow. That is going to help this league grow. I appreciate it all. Keep it coming. You guys are killing it tonight.
What's not going to be growing is Old School's lap times in the next lap or so. It's going to be going down because he is not coming off pit road. He's going to be starting off this pit cycle right here.
Yeah.
Also, I think the 34 and the 20 found each other again.
Of course they did.
Yeah, they found each other.
Of course they did.
That's
All
nice.
race long. This would not be a New Hampshire race tonight if Jay Black and Tater did not find each other. They have been battling bumper to bumper, side by side, half of stage 1. And now, like you said, they have found each other once again. As you see Jay Black hard into the wall coming out of 2.
Bugstopper, I think may have spun a little bit trying to go down pit road. Yeah, that was the game, but it looked like he did on my screen, but he.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Honestly, I didn't get to him in time on that one, so I can't say one way or another.
Yeah, he didn't do the full 360. He did a 180, and then it just went going straight. So it may have been game. He might have gotten loose a little bit.
Dave,
that 34 to that 20.
Dave, I appreciate the like, follow, and share, my man. Keep it coming, guys. But Tennessee, he was talking in the end race report. He was coming to pit road, but we have not seen him make that pit stop yet.
I personally think it's because he knows he's.
How many laps are left?
The 12 almost just got in 10's way to get the packing of a lifetime, we'll just say. But the 4 truck is catching the 2 truck. I think that's the reason why he's not necessarily coming in yet. He probably would have wanted to come in earlier just so he can make up more ground, but since he's making up ground now, he probably thinks he doesn't have to.
Right, and there are 19 laps to go now that the leader has crossed the line. So these guys still cannot make it to the end. But, I mean, you've got to pit at some point here pretty soon. I would assume these tires are being destroyed right now.
You have to. There's no way you can save it. Like, even G-Pre, if he was racing this race, he would have to go and pit. Like, he's not going to be...
Oh, we got the leader, King Henry, coming to pit road. Just as we were talking about, Rangers following. Tuck is following. Everybody coming to pit road.
Wow.
The top 4 drivers coming to pit road, and Jay Black stays out.
Wow.
Tater coming through the grass.
I wondered they were trying to run it as far as they could before they can pit. And it seems like Jay Black could probably be running at least one more lap. I would think he would pit this lap now, but I don't know. Maybe he just wanted that iRacing scheme to lead a lap or something. It could be, it could not be.
Right, absolutely. And just as we were talking about them making their green flag pit stops, our top 4 all come to pit road. King Henry gets a huge lead.
Ooh.
And Tennessee, I don't know. We're going to have to get word on what Tennessee did, but he just came out second.
You almost wonder if Ranger got a pit penalty. You almost wonder, actually, because both him and Tuck lost a lot of ground to King Henry. So I think they both got pit penalties, while 10 and King Henry didn't.
We are getting word that Tennessee and King Henry both took 2 tire pit stops
Oh, boy.
So that is interesting, and that is going to be a big key that they're going to probably have to save for later and see if these tires last.
Yep. Lead cars now. Truck is back down pit road, so.
Brandon said, I actually could save it. I'm sure you could, Jeeper. You are the best in NEXXTCAR when it comes to fuel saving, tire saving, any kind of pit strategy race. You are the best guy it comes to in NEXXTCAR. I don't know how you do it, but you do it every time, and you have done it twice this season in the trucks. But we got Buckstopper hard into the wall there coming out at 2.
All right.
Has Jay Black, do you know, I wasn't watching, has he made his pit stop yet?
Yes, he has.
Okay.
The 16 is the leader.
All right, so everything is cycled back then to the 16 truck of King Henry. Can he sweep the stages here tonight? He has got a huge lead over that 4 truck of Tennessee. Talking about comebacks, we talked about it earlier, how Tennessee had climbed and worked his way back up to 4th. Well, now with that 2-tire pit stop, he finds himself in 2nd, but for how long? How long can he keep this 24 truck of Ranger behind him? How many laps are left?
I don't know how many laps to go there are, but I think this strategy would probably work out for him.
There are 14 laps.
Yeah, I don't think Tuck will be able to get around him. I think Ranger probably will, but I don't think Tuck will be able to. And honestly,
no.
That's a net gain of 1 spot, and 1 spot is better than none.
Absolutely. So. But Tuck has got a battle of his own right now, as he has got Buckstopper all over the back of him. I mean, I know Buckstopper's a lap down and everything, but Tuck has got his mirror full of that 12 green truck.
Yeah, looks like 12 backed off finally, but it happens.
Here comes Ranger. Oh, he's running Tennessee down. Within about the next 2 to 3 laps, he will take that 2nd place, I do believe. I don't think that 2-tire pit stop was the call. Even with 20 laps to go, when they all pitted, it just is not going to work out.
Like I said, as long as he stays in front of Tuck, I think you can call it a win. I don't know exactly why the 16 took it now.
He had a big lead.
He had a big lead, yes, but I think he could have played it safe.
Absolutely.
I think he would have still got the lead back, but hey, I mean, if it works, it works. I'm not going to question it. I mean, I wasn't even this successful in the 16 truck, and I was driving it for like a season and a few races, so I mean, I can't question it anymore at this point.
Absolutely, and here comes Ranger, Tennessee, trying to protect 2nd. How long can he hold him off here, and how aggressive does Ranger get? I don't see him getting too aggressive, Dale, because he knows there's no chance running that 16 down. But he's going to go to the bottom here of Tennessee. Tennessee's going to slip way up, and that's going to give him a good run. Can he do a crossover coming off of 2? Hey, he's not close enough.
Nope. Just not the speed
that
he needs. It sucks, but I mean, yeah, I mean, you take the 2 tires, you live and die by the strategy at this point. But I mean, as long as he stays in front of Tuck, like I've been saying, I mean, it works out, that extra stage point.
Oh, absolutely. Like you said, this is your strategy. You got to go with you made your bed. Now you got to lay in it. And the 16 is going to make it work for himself. But that 4 is kind of struggling right now, as they are coming to 8 laps to go here in stage 2 this time. So,
8 laps to go. I wonder, actually, there might be a chance Ranger might catch up. If he can, he might be able to catch him quickly enough. I don't know if
know if he'll make the pass though. Catching him's one thing, making the pass is another.
Yeah, and the 16 is not the easiest to pass for sure.
No, he is not.
Track. Yeah, so I mean, only one way to find out if he can or can't, or if he even gets to him or not.
Right, absolutely. And Breaking news, the 20 truck and the 34 are not racing each other right now. First time tonight, these guys have not been battling each other, as that 34 truck is way behind him now.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. I think he may have gotten a speeding penalty.
I think
don't
so,
know.
yeah, because he's way behind now.
Yeah, I mean, Jay Black pitted like a considerable amount of laps after everyone, and he's still, I think, 5th, I'm pretty sure. So, yeah, it is what it is.
Right, but
I mean,
here,
stage 2 only.
here comes Ranger. He is making a charge. How many to go?
Yeah, it just, I go again and question the 2-tire strategy for the 16 truck. I feel like you could just played it safe and it would have worked out. But I mean, again, you live and die by the strategy. I mean, if you're going to get passed for second, I mean, that's obviously on you, but you have to ride with this until the end of the stage.
Oh, yeah, and you got 5 laps. If Ranger is going to make it happen, he is going to have to make it happen quickly with 5 laps to go here. Like you said, that 16 truck is not the easiest to get around. He has got speed, but Ranger is showing he has got the fresher tires. He is right there on him. He is 0.4 seconds back now. Can he run him down? 4 to go this time.
Oh, that draft is gonna be his best friend.
Yes, it is. And that 16 knows it as he is running down low. But I don't know if that draft, swerving like that's going to make that big of a difference with these Ranger on these fresher tires. We are sitting here for one heck of a battle in these last 3 laps. Ranger, he has not been shy this season, Dale, with that front bumper. 2 laps to go. Does he use it?
He most definitely doesn't have to, but if I had to assume, he might use it a little bit. I think he might use it a little bit.
He's there.
Yeah, he has 1 lap, or 1 extra lap, or I guess 1.5 laps in total, but he can, I guess he can't be that patient.
No, he cannot. Coming to the white flag this time for stage 2. Ranger's definitely got the fresher, faster tires. The 16 has had the speed all night long. Can he hold off the most dominating truck in the Truck Series to win his 2nd stage of the night? Remember, that 16 truck is making his debut, but he is not racing like a rookie here tonight. Ranger trying the outside. He's going to get his nose on the outside quarter panel. The 16's going to shut the door, and he is going to win stage 2. Ranger 2nd. Tennessee holds on for 3rd.
That was definitely scary for that 16 truck, but I mean, he made it work, so.
Yes, he did. Somehow, some way.
Oh my gosh. Am I really seeing the 30 and the 24 battling for the. Oh my gosh.
Wait a minute. These guys are still going full speed. Was that not the end of the stage? They're still
the end of the stage, then.
Side by side to the line. Who got it?
I bet you that's the 24. It looked like it, but I could be wrong.
Who got it?
The 30 and 24 are battling. Surprise, but like.
We're getting word the 24 truck winning stage 2. I'm sorry, we were told that was the white flag, but it was not. Ranger stealing it on the last lap through 3 and 4. What a finish to end stage 2.
Now I just have to call into that strategy again. It doesn't seem like it's worth it. Obviously, hindsight 2020, but like, I guess it's stage 2, so I guess it's more of a test, if anything. So, in a sense, it kind of works out. It works out for your own little personal data. But at least he knows not to do it again, because that wasn't for a race win, at least.
No, it was not. Not at all. That was not the right call at all for that 16 truck. And he had a big lead, so I think he could have taken 4 tires and still held on to the lead.
Yeah, I mean, we saw with 10, I mean, he ended up getting 3rd, and he took the 2 tires, but, like, The 24 passed him with a lot of laps left. The 16 would most definitely been right by the 24 truck. So he would have. Oh my gosh, they're 3 wide. Or they were 3 wide. But I mean, the 16.
Oh, Tennessee!
Ooh.
Major issue out back. The 20's around.
Man. He's not with the 34 anymore. That's a shame. Oh, the 16 just dove it in. He just hit the 24.
Caution is out at the line. And
I don't think the 16's happy with the 24.
I don't think so. They're wrecking each other down the front stretch. I don't know what took part there between those two, but I don't think he's happy like you said.
I think something happened in turns 3 and 4. I didn't see it for the stage win. Something might have happened there. Something might have happened in the restart as well. But I do not know. I don't know. But he's not happy. I'm not surprised because Ranger. This is not the first person he's upset before. He's upset even people that we don't. I honestly hope so, but
he is. We are getting word that 12 truck of Buck Stopper, the man who has not given up at all tonight, is now back on the lead lap. Claire, Emil, appreciate the likes and follows. But that 12 truck has worked his way back onto that lead lap. But while these guys are making their pit stops and everything for that caution, we are going to step away here for a quick 30-second break. You will not miss any of the pit stop in this side-by-side here in the NEXXTCAR Racing League. Alright, let's get back to it. They are going green this time. The 16 is the control truck, and the green flag is back in the air. Much better start this time for that 24 truck. Last time out, he definitely laid back a little bit there, but a much cleaner restart this time.
Yeah, but I wonder if he's going to lose this position for third. Or for a second, maybe?
I don't know. Tuck got up there, but now he is stuck behind that 16. Major contact there with Ranger and that 16 truck. Those two, I do not believe are happy with each other right now.
That almost looked like the 16 came down a little bit on
Little
Ranger.
bit.
Yeah, I think that was more of kind of like a racing incident than anything. But, I mean, that's just not going to help their whole feud at all, as Tuck's looking for the lead now.
Tuck, he has been quiet tonight. Now he finds himself up in the middle of everything. Oh, he's going to drive it in deep. He's going to slide up in front of the 16. He's lucky that 16 was that far up because he used him as a little bit of a buffer board there. Now that 16 is going to try to get it to the inside of Tuck heading into turn 1. He's going to have to get on the brakes. Tuck all over the back of the 24 truck.
Yep.
And here comes Tennessee.
Yep. Finally, after all the stuff that's happened in the top 3.
Oh! The 16 just gave Tennessee a huge shot, pushed him all the way through 3 and 4, and all the way past Tuck. What is happening right now? The 16, the 24 getting extremely aggressive right now here in the third stage.
It almost seemed like I don't know if the two either followed the 4 truck very high in that line or if he gave him a little bit of a shove, but they were both high, and the 16 was able to capitalize. I don't know. This is very interesting. I did not expect it to be this heated, if I'm going to be honest with you. Now, what I do expect is the 20 and the 34 to be back battling each other again, but, like, I didn't really expect the tempers to be flaring that much, especially for your first race. I mean, I guess I could understand it with how some people drive, but in this league, but I don't know, it's just kind of shocking. Very shocking.
Right, but GW, Melissa, I appreciate the likes, the hosting, Melissa. Thank you. But yeah, and not Tennessee, but Ranger, he is loving all this battling behind him because he's been kind of put into place a little bit here tonight by that 16 truck. You know, he got kind of lucky with a not so good pit strategy there by the 16. And we're getting word that the 16 has told the 4 truck he needs to move out of the way or he will be put into the wall. So that 16 truck is not being kind out there with these guys. Tennessee, our in-race reporter, is furious right now.
I'm confused as to why that's the case. I really am.
Tennessee just told him he is going to have to wreck him if he is going to get by him. So, first race, already out here feuding.
It's very interesting. This 16 truck is doing better than me, but the tempers are most definitely not as under control as the old 16 driver. If that's gonna be anything I have to brag about, I will brag about that. Don't you worry.
And I don't understand why the 16 wanted him to move. Ranger was out by at least almost a second, I would say, and they ran him down. But that 16 truck, as he's gonna drive it in big time there.
I can't understand why he's upset with the 24. I don't understand why he's upset with the 4 truck. So that's very weird.
Right, no, and Tennessee he's a fast driver, so and clearly he's not holding that 16 truck up as Tennessee is now looking for that lead.
Hey, I mean, he's up there when it matters most. How it goes.
Absolutely, you know, Tennessee's one of those guys that he's always there at the right place. Oh, and Tennessee goes around coming out of 4.
I think that might have been a lag.
We're getting word that is lag, and that is going to be a caution.
Caution, right? From the 24, wasn't it?
Yep, caution and lag as Tennessee just got the worst of it.
I think that was from the 24.
It was, yes, sir.
He most definitely slowed down a decent amount. Are they still? Oh, never mind.
Yeah, they're racing back to the line now. But, man, what a heartbreak for Tennessee. All that work to get back up there, battling for the lead there. 1 second, and the next second you're spinning. Terrible break there for that 4 truck. Is that 16 is past...
he's done. This is not the first time he's done this. I was gonna say, this is not the first time he's done this. So
he is not happy with that 24 truck as he is beating and banging on him down that backstretch under caution.
Yeah, him being on the inside of him is not the first time he's done. He's done that with the other when the other cautions happened. And
he is pushing and beating him onto pit road. That is gonna get the guy in front of him a penalty. If you do that and you get him a little bit above that pit road speed limit, he will get a speeding penalty, that 24 truck.
Yeah, I don't know the rules that well, but obviously for the people at home, this would be like the perfect opportunity to explain to them. Since Ranger lagged and caused a caution, will he drop to the back, or will he just stay up front?
Negative. It'll just act like a normal caution. Tennessee, unfortunately, does lose all that ground that he did work so hard to get back. But Ranger will hold on to his lead.
All right. Just want to make sure. Yep. Also, this honestly works out for Buckstopper as he was a lap down, or not wasn't a lap down, but he didn't pit for some reason when he got.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that strategy was all about, but
I don't know either. But I mean, hey, he's back on the same pit sequence as them now. Also, the 2 truck ended up passing the 16 truck, coming off of pit road, so he's now going to be second.
And the 16 is up against the wall, kind of trying to make his own third line. But here they come out of turn 4, back to the Geico restart line. Green flag back in the air here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway in stage number 3.
Bad restart.
Yes, he did.
Bad restart. He held up. Oh, the 2 truck just overdrove it a little bit.
I don't know if he overdrove it or if that was kind of an intentional little run up the track there a little bit, because that 16 truck is not out to make friends tonight.
Yeah. Well, that's what happens when you're a Chevy, even though you're supposed to be a Yoda. It'd be like that sometimes. That has to be the reason, right? I'm just kidding.
But now Tuck is followed in line there in second. He's going to give him a little bit of a shot, it looked like.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and get on Tuck's hood cam here, roof cam, as he's going to get that big draft down that backstretch. How far does he drive it in here?
I think he knows there's no reason to, especially since this is not even... He's not even driving for himself. He's driving for Pierce, who's
right.
not racing today. But the 16 trucks, I think, on the inside
yes,
of the 24.
he is. Oh, and here comes Tuck through the middle. He's going to have to back off a little bit. He's going to slide up. The 16 just took out the nose of the 24. And here comes Tuck on the inside of the 24 of Ranger. And now the 16 is looking to check out from this.
This is the part where you would love to have a radio active just to hear what's going on.
Absolutely. That is something I wanted to start actually at the beginning of the season, but it just, time gets away from you, you know? It's a lot of work to do all this, and someday we will get a radio active.
Yeah, I've done them before. I most definitely know what you mean by how, they're time consuming, having to edit like the whole stream. It takes a lot of work.
Yep,
but I
do enough as it is. This broadcast takes a lot too.
Yeah, now what's not taking a lot is that 16 truck. That 16 truck's not doing a lot of work. This man is just driving away ever so peacefully, which we haven't necessarily seen for a minute from him.
Right.
Considering what he's been doing with the 24 and the 2 truck. Even a 4, I guess.
Yeah, and Tennessee has not exactly been able to work his way up through this field as quickly as I thought he would, as he is still back here behind the 34, the 20, and the 11 outside of the top 5. He's currently riding around right now in the 7th position. Oh, the 34 is going to give the 11 a huge shot there.
Yeah, the 20, the 4 of 10, as he's going 3 wide.
Yeah, he had no choice there. He had no choice at all.
Yeah, the 4's been struggling the past starts, at least from this part of the pack, the whole race. Like, even when he screwed up, it's taken him a while to actually catch back up. So, in a sense, it's not a surprise, but it definitely does suck to see.
Absolutely, and now it's kind of looking like Tuck and the 24 are working together, and they are kind of starting to catch that 16 truck ever so slightly. Ranger did not get a good run there through 1 and 2 that last time, but they are starting to kind of run down that 16 truck, and right now seems like a good time to do our Through the Field Dale. Let's start it off with our current leader in that 16 truck of King Henry 2K. He has not been very friendly to these guys out here tonight. Forcefully taking positions and telling people to move out of the way, but he has been a very fast truck here tonight, winning stage number 1 and currently out here leading in stage number 3, and lost stage number 2 by a fender. So he has put together a very solid race here in his debut, not making friends, and that's something that you kind of need in racing, are friends. But he finds himself out here on a lonely island of no friends. Next up is Tuck in that 2 truck, subbing for Pierce. He has had a solid race so far, solidly been in the top 5 this entire race. Now finds himself in second, trying to run down, King Henry in that 16 truck. But he's found himself in some pretty good battles with that 24 truck. We're no stranger to seeing the 2 and 24 beating and banging, and they have continued it here tonight, even with a different driver in that 2 truck rather. Next up is Ranger in that 24. He narrowly squeaked out the stage 2 win with a last lap coming out of turn 4 pass on that 16 truck. He has had a pretty solid race so far here tonight, as he has been in the top 3 for most of the afternoon and looking to complete it and possibly get back up there and go back-to-back wins, as he did win last week at Eldora on the dirt, ending Tennessee Titans' winning streak. So can Ranger get back up there and keep his own streak going? Next up is
Jay Black in the 20.
Jay Black in the 20, yes sir. Jay Black has quietly been kind of working his way up to the front. We've seen him battling Tater in that 34 truck a lot of tonight, but he's finally kind of put that 34 truck behind him and finds himself running around solidly in that top 5 and 4th, the highest we have seen him tonight besides during green flag pit stops. So it's nice to see that iRacing paint scheme of that 20 truck up here in the top 5, but he is making it work for himself. Next up is the Tennessee Titan number 4 truck as he rides around now in the top 5. He has found himself amongst a little bit of everything tonight. A very roller coaster of a night. He's been caught up in crashes by himself. He's ran into the pit road wall. He found himself getting caught up in a little bit of lag. A lot of things that he couldn't help, but he's been rebounding a lot tonight as we have got a big battle going on ahead of these guys for second between Tuck and Ranger. But Tennessee has done a very solid job of rebounding from basically everything that has been thrown at him here tonight and trying to catch that 20 truck. Next up is
Should be old school.
Old School in the 11 truck. He's had a pretty solid night here so far, running around in the 6th position. But he has got a mirror full of that 34 truck. And Tater has found himself in some really good battles here tonight. Like we were talking about with that 20 truck, he found himself beating and banging and racing clean with him. But right now that 20 truck is pulled away, but he has just lost that 4th position to Tennessee, right ahead of Old School. Then next up is that 34 truck of Tater. He's had a not so good night tonight, but he still finds himself sitting pretty solid for the playoffs. So he can afford a little bit of a not such a good night. But he needs to take more advantage of these nights where not everybody is racing. But he just could not seem to get it done here tonight. This is a tough track, but Tater still struggling here tonight. And then last but not least is Buckstopper in that number 12 truck. He has had another roller coaster of a night. There's no doubt about that. Early pit strategy, found himself trapped a lap down, has worked his way back to the lead lap. But as you can see, as he just hit that outside wall, he has not been having the night of his season so far. He's got that first win at Daytona, looking to find his way back to victory lane at an oval. But let's see if he can get it done. But that rounds out your through the field.
I will say, the 4 truck's gotten around the 20 for 4th place, and the battle for second is heating up.
Yes, it is. Let's get back up there. As you can see, that 16 truck is loving every bit of that battle behind him, because that is allowing him to keep pulling away as Tuck has got his hands and mirror full from that 24 truck. Ranger's going to make a move on that inside. Can he make it stick off of 4? It does a little bit, but Tuck gets that big run off that high side. What's it going to take for Ranger to get by him? He's not going to want to use that bumper. As it seems like he has a run-in with anybody and everybody who drives that 2 truck this season. So he's going to have to start watching them bump and runs, because eventually that's going to start coming back to him.
Oh, yeah, I mean, yeah, I think Pierce may have talked about his frustration a little bit with the 24. I don't remember completely, but I mean, yeah, at some point it's probably going to come back to him, and it might happen at the worst possible time. But the 2 truck just already drove turns 1 and 2.
Yes, he did, and that opened up the door for Ranger, but he gets that big, good run off that high side out of 2. And yeah, like you said, it's going to come when it's going to cost him the most. And that is probably going to be in the championship race, as you see him all over the back bumper of that 2 truck now. So Ranger has got to learn to be a little more patient and a little more careful if he does not want to have that championship taken from his hands if he finds himself in that position.
Man, if Pierce is watching this stream, he might be a little nervous right now with this battle going on. I'm not gonna lie. This battle's it's not even just for the fact that it's battling for position, but like how Ranger might do it. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if he's watching this stream though. But I will say them two battling, not only is the 16 pulling away from them, but the 4 is catching them.
Absolutely, and Tennessee has had to battle a lot of adversity tonight, but he is, like you said, closing back in on that top 3 finish. Quick shout out to Navarra and M. Thank you for the like and the follow. We're up to 254 viewers. You guys are killing it tonight.
254.
254. Wow. And that's just on Facebook. I'm not sure how many are watching on Twitch, but you guys are absolutely killing it. If you are watching it on Facebook, make sure you're clicking on the link in my Facebook gaming description. It will take you to my Twitch page, and you guys, please head on over there and hit that subscribe and follow button. But like we were talking about, we have got a huge battle on our hands. Let's figure out how many laps are left here. How many laps are left this stage in this race? $25 laps to go. They do have to pit one more time, Dale. We saw 2 tires doesn't exactly work. Is that something that these guys are going to learn from? Or do you think that same mistake is made once again?
It honestly depends on when they actually have to pit. If they have to pit within the next few laps, I hope no one does it, but it could happen. I don't doubt the possibility of it not happening. But there's like around 10 laps to go. If they have to pit then maybe you'll see some of it. I won't even be surprised if the 16 truck does it, honestly.
Right, but here comes Tuck underneath Ranger for second. And Tennessee has joined the battle. We have got a 3-way battle for second here. Tuck in the 2, Ranger in the 24, and Tennessee, our defending series champion, right behind those two, side by side, in that 4 truck, as you see Tennessee all over the track, going down that front stretch. Ranger trying to keep Tuck from getting that big outside highline run. Here he comes. He's going to drive it in really deep there. He's going to get that nose on that left rear quarter panel of Tuck. But where does Tennessee go in this? Is he's going to get a big toe down that front stretch. He's going to go to the outside of Ranger. Tennessee working that highline, trying to dive, do a crossover off of 2. Can he get it done? He is not close enough.
Yeah, this battle might be heating up, but the 16 truck, the more this battle goes on, the more time that they're going to be losing to the 16 truck. He was gone before, but he has completely checked out, nearly a full straightaway away from second through 4th.
Yes, he has, and this is exactly what that 16 truck wants to continue to see. Ranger, Pierce, and Tuck and Tennessee battling like this, battling hard. That is going to slow them down. That is going to allow that 16, like you said, to pull away. As you can see, we are on the hood of Tuck, and the 16 is just a small dot up there heading into turn 1 and 2. As Ranger has now cleared Tuck, but now Tuck has got a handful of Tennessee trying to make that pass for third.
Yeah, I think Rangers is probably going to check out for second away from these two. I think, honestly, Tuck might be the 4th fastest, so Emma probably... Nope, Rangers going
Ranger
down the road.
pit road.
16 and 4.
Yep, the 16, the 24, and the 4. And that was interesting because I don't think Tuck knew that 24 truck was coming to pit road because he was running the same exact line that Ranger was taking onto pit road. We talked about that pre-race. That is going to be something that these drivers are going to have to do is communicate. Well, we just saw where that communication just about cost Ranger and Tuck a top 3 finish.
Yep. I almost said, the Ford truck is going to be exiting out first.
He definitely took a 2-tire stop.
Yeah. I don't know how this is going to work out.
I don't think it is.
Even though he has a gap, I don't know how many laps to go there left, but the 16 truck, if he still has like little patience for the Ford truck, then I don't know how this is going to work out.
But that 16 truck has showed no patience tonight. How many laps are left?
Yeah.
18 laps to go. That is asking a lot with 2 tires. That is asking a lot.
Yeah, I commend 10 for the try, but unless there's a caution that comes out, which I guess it could. I don't necessarily see it happening. I really don't.
Right. And Tennessee's best friend right now was that 2 truck, but now Tuck comes to pit road. So there is nothing separating these two right now.
I'm kind of scared to see what happens. Something tells me that something bad might happen, but I don't know.
MG, thank you for the like, buddy. But here they are. A pass for the potential win. The 16. The debut of him in NEXXTCAR. Tennessee, our defending series champion. Tennessee on old tires. Here comes the 2. Is the 2 going to get up to speed here before these guys catch them? I believe that is going to give Tuck the lead if I am not mistaken. Tuck is the leader right now, right? Yes, Tuck has come out the leader. The 16 now has to work his way past Tuck as he has cleared Tennessee. But a big gap between Tennessee and Ranger. Can Ranger run them down as Ranger is just now going across the start-finish line? But Tuck, so Tennessee is not the only one that tried the 2-tire pit strategy, as now Tuck finds himself in that same boat.
This is going to be interesting here. Oh, 16 just keeps it below.
Oh, the 16! A bump from Tuck! What a save, though, by that 16 truck. I don't care if you're mad at the guy. I don't care if you don't like him. What a save that was through 3 and 4.
Yeah, that was... I understand.
Crossover by Tuck! What a move!
Ooh, pinches him off the corner a little bit. He is not done with this battle yet.
No, he is not. No 2 tires or 4 tires. Which was the right call? I'm going to go with 4 tires right now with 15 laps to go. And that is that about everything Tuck has. Tuck is going to drive it in extremely deep. He can't quite get there.
Yep. And the 4 and the 2 are probably going to be battling with each other as they're doing now. That's just going to allow Ranger to catch back up with them.
And that's going to allow that 16 to pull away even further. But you got to give Tuck credit. He tried, no doubt about it. As Tennessee made the pass, but here comes Tuck once again with the crossover. Now these two need to be working together. They need to be pushing each other. Try to catch back up to that 16 truck. Why are you running side by side battling each other?
I'm going to be honest, that is the way to do it. But even then, I don't think it was going to work. Again, though, they probably should. It just...
At least it keeps Ranger from potentially catching back up to you. You know what I'm saying? And that secures a top 3 spot, so...
Yeah, like I said, though, if anything, the Tuck in the 2 truck, he's only caring about winning. Since he's only caring about winning, most likely, he's probably not going to care if he loses a few more spots, even though he's racing for someone else. But, like, still, I don't know. But maybe they're going to work together, or maybe not. Nah.
And we are coming to 10 laps to go, but look behind the 2 and the 4, and Ranger is right there. He is running these guys down big time right now.
Yep. I mean, I don't know.
10 laps to
These
go.
guys are probably going to be getting fast. I will say, though, there's going to be some lap traffic, it looks like, from Buckstopper.
Yeah, and we
He
saw
is-
earlier in stage 1 where Buckstopper definitely did not make it easy for these guys to get by him. He held up the 16 when he was leading the first time, and then held up Ranger. So it's going to be interesting. Does Buckstopper just kind of move off to the side this time as these laps are winding down with 9 to go?
I feel like he doesn't pull off, but he allows at least the leader to
Tuck
get by him.
just
Honestly, feels
about
like-
lost it all there off of 2.
Ooh, that even allowed the 24 to catch them even more quickly. And I mean, it almost seems like he just secures the fact that the 24 is gonna catch him and pass probably both of them.
And Tennessee's up into the wall through 1 and 2. He has just cost himself big time to Tuck and Ranger. That is not what you need to do. 2 tire pit stops was not the way to go.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
He has cost himself half a second to that 24 truck, and here comes Ranger. He has got to get past Tennessee. Tennessee is the points leader. Ranger is in second. So he has got to get past Tennessee if he's going to make any kind of a cut into that lead by Tennessee in the points, as we do close in with 3 races left after this one in the regular season. So time is winding down just like in this race with 7 laps to go.
Well, the 16s catch the 12 truck. All depends on what the 12 truck is going to do, and the 16 does anything to the 12 truck. Yeah, 12 truck just lets them have the inside. He doesn't bother with them. Unless the caution comes out, this race is basically all said and done.
Basically, 1 more lap and manual cautions are off. How many laps left? 5 laps to go this time. So all manual cautions are off. Only game cautions left. Tuck, can he hold off Ranger? Ranger, can he get up there and pass Tuck for second? There's no running down that 16 truck unless that 16 truck makes a rare mistake that he has not made all race long. But can Ranger get past Tennessee? Can Tennessee hold him off for 4 more laps?
I don't think Tennessee's going to make this easy on him. I mean, I know he wasn't, I wouldn't say he was mad at Ranger for last week for like the blocking he did, but he wasn't necessarily the happiest either. He might have that in his mind, just try to block him where he's at. Maybe it could happen, or he might just let him by. Who knows?
Right, and especially if you're Tennessee, you need to have a big gap between yourself and Ranger in the points, because Ranger can win at just about any track we go to. So you have got to take advantage of any kind of a points lead that you have, and you've got to keep building that gap between yourselves, even though we are going to be heading into the playoffs where points are going to reset, but you've got to make sure you have that regular season champion so you get those extra points, as you see Ranger all over the back bumper now of Tennessee as we are heading to 2 to go. 2 to go, right? All right. With 2 laps to go, let's get to the rookie making his debut here in NEXXTCAR. That is the 16 truck of King Henry, coming through 3 and 4 to take the white flag at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. He has made it look easy at times, but he has definitely ruffled some feathers here tonight. He has not been shy with the beating and banging, and here he is coming down the backstretch one final time through 3 and 4.
Oh, we have a battle for a second here.
Yes, we do. Let's take a look back off that 16. We got a three-way battle. King Henry is going to come off of 4, and he is going to get his first win in NEXXTCAR. Tuck is going to hang on for second, and Tennessee hangs on for third. The two-tire strategy has worked. Unbelievable. I did not think that two-tire strategy was the right call, but Tuck and Tennessee hold on to it and get a top 3 finish.
I mean, it's like when Ranger caught them. It's like when Ranger caught them, it almost looked like all the momentum he had was just kind of gone. He didn't have the speed to necessarily pass these two. It wasn't it's not the first time I noticed this too. The other time, or when people took two tires again, when he I think got to the 16, it almost seemed like he was kind of matching his pace a little bit instead of using the extra pace he has to get around him. Eventually he did, but still.
Right, absolutely. Abu, appreciate the like and follow, my man. Let's go ahead and check out who put down the fastest lap of this race. I'm going to go ahead and say the 16 truck
probably
did do it.
I'm assuming that too.
Let's go ahead and see who put it down.
Yeah,
that is
King
that
Henry.
16 truck. But we're going to step away here from the broadcast real quick. Get your top 3 finishers in here for the post-race interview. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back.
I am excited and nervous at the same time for this.
We are back after an action-packed race here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Let's get these post-race interviews started with our winner here tonight, King. What's going on, man?
Epic.
Yes, sir. You put on one heck of a show here tonight. How were you able, in your debut here with NEXXTCAR, to get not only the Stage 1 win, but to pull off your first win here?
Honestly, I ran 2 other races at New Hampshire this week. Before this week, I absolutely hated this track. I swept a cup race, I swept an Xfinity race, and now I won a truck race, so I can just check all those boxes on my most hated track. So now my most hated has become my favorite, all in a matter of 1 week.
Yes,
Trying
sir.
to flex on us. Hold on.
Now, not saying drivers are mad at you, but I'm not saying there aren't drivers that mad at you. You ruffled a little bit of feathers here tonight with some beating and banging and telling some drivers to move out of the way. Are you not out here to make any friends?
I don't give a shit about friends. I care about wins.
Absolutely. Wins mean everything in NASCAR. Let's go ahead and move on to our second place finisher, Tuck. What's going on, buddy?
How's it going, Ronnie? How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing good after that action-packed race. Now, 2 tire stops. That didn't exactly work there coming to the end of stage 2 for some drivers, but I believe you and Tennessee both did it on that last green flag pit stop. Am I mistaken?
Yeah, no, going in the middle of second stage, I took 4 and didn't really play out in that stage and finished in 4th. And so figured run long in the last stage and ended up working out and getting a second place finish.
Absolutely. You know, I didn't think 2 tires would be the right call because we saw certain drivers where it didn't work. And somehow you and Tennessee were able to make it work and hold on to that second and third place finish. Now, nobody besides maybe Ranger had anything for King tonight. How do you feel you did tonight, subbing for Pierce?
You know, it was just to come out here and get Pierce some points. I mean, I think did that job, and it was a good battle with King in his first race. Ranger, me and him had a good, the first stage battle, and then me and Tennessee, like we always do, our cars end up seeming to be stuck to each other by the time the checkered flag flies.
Yes, sir. Moving on to our third place finish here. Tennessee, what's going on, my man?
What's up, Ronnie? How you doing?
Pretty good. All right. You came into this race as our points leader. Obviously, you're the defending series champion. How do you feel you raced tonight? I know this wasn't your best of races. You had a lot of ups and downs throughout this race. You know, you got put into the pit road wall. You wrecked a couple times. How were you able to rebound from that and kind of make it all a little better with the top 3 finish?
I won't lie. Tonight was a frustrating night. Had a bit of a battery problem, so kept having to go through the field over and over again. I think it was Old School that made the call. I definitely passed on those trucks tonight. I do believe that's true. This Ford truck had to do a lot of passing. It never got a chance to show what the Ford truck truly had. I never had a moment where I had the same tires as that 16 truck and was near them. So a bit upset. This is one of my favorite tracks, so for it to play out like that. But that's how it goes. There's good luck and there's bad luck, and we just didn't have the luck tonight.
Absolutely. Now, quick question for you. We have got a lot of rivalries brewing here this season. We've got Ranger and Pierce, and then we got Pierce and D-Blood. Little bit of beating and banging, a lot of talking between you and that 16 truck. Is this another little bit of a rivalry and feud brewing here between you two?
I don't know about that. I pride myself being a clean racer. I don't usually get in discuss with people. And if we do get in discuss, I usually let it go pretty easy and don't really escalate it. I don't appreciate somebody pretty much called me slow while we're trying to catch the leader, but hey, I get it. That's how it is. So I wouldn't call it a rivalry, but I think we'll be cool.
Absolutely. Dale, what do you got for our top 3 finishers here tonight?
I, believe it or not, have nothing.
Okay. All right. Well, let's talk about next weekend. 3 races left here in this regular season as we head to Chicagoland. King, let's start with you, buddy. How do you feel about your chances next week and making it back-to-back wins at 150 laps with Chicagoland?
Probably one of the tracks I'm going to struggle at coming up, but I think I might be able to get it done. Not so confident at that one.
Okay, how about you, Tuck? Are you subbing next week? I know you're kind of bouncing in and out with
This
subbing.
is the thing. Me and Tennessee talked about maybe me running full time now since some people have dropped out. So
For sure, absolutely.
But it depends on if somebody subs or if it needs a sub or whatever. But in Chicagoland, it's a fun track to go around, and hopefully if I get the chance to make some noise up there.
Absolutely. Well, if you decide to go full time, I look forward to it. You're a great racer in the Cup Series, and I look forward to possibly doing the broadcast with you, watching you go out there and beating and banging battle these guys. How about you, Tennessee? What you got for next week?
Well, sadly, my streak of races I really like is over. Not the way I wanted to end it. I won the first two and then lost the second two, so a little upsetting that I didn't at least win 3 of those. But Chicago is a track that, in the history, it's not really one I like. I don't like how the backstretch is weird. It's not a track that's really. It's not one I really like. Really, out of these next 3, I don't really like any of them except Darlington. So you might see this Ford truck get a little cold, but I'm sure I'll be near the front and still trying to get these wins.
Absolutely. Wins mean everything with 3 races left to go here in the regular season. Coming back to you real quick, Tennessee, for one final question. You and Ranger find yourself in a pretty heated battle right now to get that regular season champion, which obviously does give you extra points going into the playoffs. How focused are you on getting that regular season championship, or are you more focused on, hey, once we get to the playoffs, it's a clean slate, let's go focus on that championship race?
I'm really glad you asked me about this. Last season, my championship season, people tend to forget that Ranger actually was our season champion. Had to step away from the league, and it really hurt him at his odds of getting a championship. I was right behind him, but he won the regular season championship. So this is really big for me. I wanted to come in here and not only defend my title in the playoffs, but I wanted to go out here and be really consistent in the regular season and get the regular season title. That means a lot to me. So I got 3 races to hold off Ranger. Like I said before, these are 3 tracks I'm kind of iffy on except Darlington. But I'm going to try to make sure I keep up with them and use that buffer I've made myself. Hopefully last and get that regular season championship locked up.
Absolutely. Dale, do you have any questions that popped up?
I have not, sadly.
Can I add one thing?
Yep, what you got?
I didn't insinuate that you were slow. I insinuated hurry up, and I was worried you were going to lag into me. I didn't say you were slow.
Hey, for one, it wasn't my truck's problem, it's what my truck was receiving. And for another, I'm just saying I don't like being pushed and told how to drive my car and told to go faster when I'm already going pretty fast. That's all I was trying to say.
It's mind games, bro. I'm fucking with you.
Well, there you have it. I think we got to start to our 3rd rivalry this season. But
it's just 2 Titans fans. We can't be in a rivalry.
We're destined to both lose. That's what that means.
There it is. All right.
I'm just here so I don't get fined. So
yeah, I hear you on that one. But that is going to wrap it up for the NEXXTCAR Truck Series at New Hampshire. We will catch you guys next Sunday at Chicagoland. We had a stream record 243 people viewing, so keep it up next Sunday as we head to Chicagoland. Have a good one, everybody.
Breaking news.